It's a beautiful Thursday. It is spring in its fullness. We are popping. We are getting ready to celebrate summer. What a beautiful time. 2020 September. And on this particular day, I am again covering a very unfortunate topic. Gender-based violence. Whoever thought that we could gather and speak about a topic of this nature, a topic that touches on what is humanely the mind cannot comprehend, and yet it is amongst us as a nation, it is affecting us as a nation. And I must say that not just is it affecting us, but it has become a pandemic. And our brothers out there, however gender-based violence is perpetrated, but somebody somewhere has decided to turn a blind eye to this nightmare. It is sad, and yet though it is sad, we do have to talk about it. So I bless God that today I'm not alone. I'm not going to be theorizing about this type of violence and its impact on people. I am on studio having a beautiful, beautiful woman that I would love for herself to introduce herself.
My name is Miranda Lephoko. I'm mostly known as Umimi. I come from Roundabout East Rand. Thank you for inviting me to be talking about this sensitive topic that's been happening for years, which makes me wonder, would it ever end?
Yeah, this has been going on for years. And the question is, are we ever going to see a decrease of gender-based violence, or what we will be seeing is just an increase? And I think just on that note that Mimi mentions, she wonders if it's ever going to end. There are very interesting statistics here. When you look at that ratio, you can tell that this is as frequent as we drink water. And our people out there, whether the violence is perpetrated by a woman to another woman, or a parent to a child, or a spouse to the other spouse, the frequency at which this is going on, we can tell that it is increasing. But I don't want to get carried away. I do want us, Mimi, to, for you to share your story. How did you find yourself in a wheelchair? What has been the journey? What truly happened that led you to be where you are today?
Thank you so much for the opportunity to share my story with the hope that it's going to be changing someone's life out there.
Yes.
I speak on behalf of Survivor. I call myself a survivor because I had survived through the hands of my then husband when he shot me 3 times.
My God.
And he thought I was dead. And
sure.
He shot himself and he died on the scene.
My goodness.
I was married for 8 years. It was an abusive marriage and it was an emotional abuse.
Okay.
I understand that it's different kinds of abuse.
Yeah.
I had a partner that was failing to communicate.
Oh, jeez.
His insecurities. He was so possessive, and that all those aspects destroyed our marriage. We tried, we engaged families to come and resolve the issue, but we were not winning. And there was a stage where I left for, it was 1 year and 3 months, when I felt that, no, in this marriage, I'm losing myself. I felt that I was dying as a person because now I felt so caged. I was not living my life. And when I decided that no, I want out, and then I went and I stayed with my friend and I found my place. At that time, I had made a decision that I'm completely out.
Okay.
But then he came back and he convinced me that he has changed. He wants us to work things together and let's be happy again. Okay, because I loved him. And, you know, that's one thing with people that abuse people because they will come and soft talk you. So
the seductive tongue.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was so convinced, and then I went back. When I went back, it was just after a month or two, and then we started fighting. And I could pick up that we're still fighting about the very same things that made me to leave in the first place. And as they went, I realized that, no, you know what, this person hasn't changed. He was just saying that to me because he wanted me to come back. And when I said to him, you know, I think I'm not the woman that you're looking for. I don't understand why you're keeping me. I think now release me. All I need, I just need my peace. I need my happiness. And because he knew now when I was saying it that I'm definitely going, I'm not going to come
I mean, and you'd given him a second chance.
Yes. So then he started fighting, and along our fights, he would always threaten me that he's going to kill the both of us. But later on, he would like tell me that, no, I'm the one that's pushing him. He's going to do that. He loves me. You know, with all those things, it has been happening whenever we have those fights. So to me, whenever he says that, it was like,
it's just an empty threat.
Exactly. So it continued until it was 2005 when we had a fight. It was in October. And then he started smashing things around the house. And he told me that he's going to destroy everything that I bought with my own money.
Okay.
I remember that morning I was preparing to go to work. And then he started smashing things, and then he took a knife and slashed the couches in our living room. And then I was watching him, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, that means with that knife when he's done there.
Yeah, he's coming to me, my God.
And because we had security doors, it was difficult for me to run away because now I didn't know what would I be provoking. So I said, okay, let me wait for him to finish.
Oh my word.
And then once he was done, he was telling me that, he loves me. I'm the one that's making him to do all these things. And all I asked him, and I said, okay, now that you're done, can you let me go to work? Because I need to go to work. And all I wanted at that moment was just to exit the house.
Just to get out.
I realized that I'm not safe. And I remember that day I just took my underwear and I took a toothbrush and sneaked it into my handbag.
Oh, Lord.
Because I knew that when I come back, I'm just going straight home. At least when I get home, my mom's wardrobe, it's almost my size, so I'll get something to wear. So I managed to convince him, and then he let me leave. And then I left. From there, I went and I called his family and I said, please come and see the mess in the house. And I called my parents. So when I knocked off, I went and get my parents. When we came, they were also shocked to find out the mess. And then I packed my things and then I left because he was not there.
Okay.
And then 4 months later, because now he was the one that remained in the house, he called me because there was a problem with the geyser in the house. He says to me, you can come and fix your geyser because this is your house. The geyser is leaking.
But he's been using the geyser.
And I said, hey, funny, because you're the one that's left in the house, but you calling me to come and fix the geyser. And then he goes and say, yeah, because it's your house, you can come. Now,
Mimi, can I just interrupt you? Just on the receiving the call, Mimi. So you've been separated for a couple of months. And then he calls you and he says, geyser is not working. Come fix it because in any case, this is your house. I'm very keen to know if in your heart, the depth of your heart, was there possibly a thought that said, in any case, it's my house, let me go fix the geyser. So there is no anger, there is no suspicion, possibly, and this is what I want you to confirm for me, that was there some kind of hope that maybe now that we've been apart for so long and he's saying, come fix this, that I was safe to go there, that I could even be safer giving the relationship another chance. I just want to find that out, because when you left, you knew that you needed to run for dear life. Therefore, going back, being a woman says to me, was there a possibility in Mimi's heart that there still could be something? In any case, this was my husband for a long time.
Referring to the last incident when I left,
Uh-huh.
there was no hope at all, because
Okay.
I had already made a decision that
Okay.
I wanted out.
Okay.
So the reason that made me to go and check is because now I had to call the insurance guys.
Okay.
Say there's a problem.
Okay.
And they wanted to know how big was the damage.
Okay.
So that was the only reason that was taking me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone.
Okay.
Because we were fighting in between with calls.
Okay.
And he was swearing at me, calling me names as I
Okay.
was at home, that, yeah, I'm there at my parents' place so that I could get a chance to meet my men and go out and control
Plus, we are
myself.
beautiful, so he must have been very insecure.
He was, I promise you. So even that day, he didn't even expect me, because I said to him, I remember when I called him to say, hey, the insurance guys, they want to know how big is the damage that the geyser has done. And he said, why don't you come yourself and see? And I said, okay, I'm not sure when I'm going to come, but I'll just come one day. Because I didn't want to alert him when exactly I'm going to be coming. So it was Friday, 2006, Friday the 13th.
Oh, the Friday the 13th.
Yeah, we knocked off. I remember we went shopping, the excitement, because we had a leaf club. And then on our way driving back home, I said to my friends, you know what, guys, now that we're here, let's go via my house. I just need to sort out this geyser thing so that I can call the insurance guys. So when I got there, my house was locked.
Okay.
I've got keys, most it's my house. How when I tried to open, I couldn't gain access. And then I realized that the locks were changed.
Oh, wow.
So now I'm making
So
a
it's
joke.
your house, but the locks have been changed.
Now I'm making a joke to my friends, and I said, guys, the last time I checked, this was my house, but clearly it's no more, because I've got
The
keys,
locks
but
are changed.
I can't gain access. So now we're laughing, and I say, okay, give me a piece of paper, I just want to leave a note so that he knows that I was here.
Yeah.
So while in that moment of writing a note, his car approached the gate. So my friend had to reverse to give him way. So as he was driving in, and then I went to the car, because he stopped just in front of the garage. When he stopped, I went and opened the passenger door. I remember when I opened the door and I said, Kunjani. The response at Kunjani Gupi.
Oh, gosh.
And I pick up immediately that no.
It's going to be
Yeah,
bad.
no, the mood is not right. I said to him, you know what, I just came to check so that I can report with the insurance guys, but then I can pick up that things are not okay. And he said, yeah, it's good because you came, you're not going anywhere. We're both gonna die.
Ooh.
And I said, you know what, I think this is not a good day. Let me go, I'll come back some other time. And as I was saying that, I was taking few steps towards the gate, because now my friends didn't come back into the yard, they just went and parked at the gate.
Okay.
So as I was taking few steps to the gate, and then I hear the sound of a gun turning on.
Oh, my God.
So now when it was turning on, I'm confused whether to proceed or
Oh,
talk
God.
to him. And I said, okay, let me talk to him. We had fights before. So and I've managed to calm him down. So maybe even in this case I can still calm him down. So I turned back and I spoke to him and I said, it doesn't have to end like this.
Oh, Lord.
Let's talk about this. I mean, if we can't decide how to break this marriage, let the court decide for us. Because we are fighting now. We're fighting about so many things. We're fighting about the things that we own. So it was like hectic. So I said to him, let's let the court decide for us. And then I just need my peace. And there was a stage where I said to him, you can have everything. You can have everything. All I'm asking for was my happiness. I just need my peace. And when we fought there, one of my friends realized that I've left my phone in the bag. And then immediately they called my dad. And okay, firstly they called the police. Police didn't respond. And then they decided to call my dad. My dad had to drop everything and rush to the scene. Because it's a a fight that took like an hour and a half.
Sure.
But because it was not too noisy, we were pulling because he was trying to pull me inside the house. And I realized that once he pulls me inside the house, no one will be able to save me.
Yeah.
And I was pulling back until to a point where he took out his gun and hit me on the head, trying to overpower me.
Sure.
Then that's when I started screaming, and that alerted my friends to see good he's got a gun.
My God.
And even a neighbor came out, and my neighbor, when he came out, when he saw that he's got a gun, he started screaming and saying, I'm calling the police, I'm calling the police. You know, at that moment to my mind, now I'm thinking the police will be coming, the sirens, you know, it's gonna cause a lot of commotion. And I said to my neighbor, no, it's fine, I'll talk to him, he's gonna come down.
Sure.
But I was also scared, but I was just trying to take control of the situation. And while we were still fighting, my dad's car approached the gate. And to me, that was a great relief, because it was like somebody's coming into my rescue.
Yeah.
And when my dad came, he was also wondering why was I there, because I've been home all these months. And I explained to my dad the reason of me being there. And my dad, all he said, because he could pick up that the mood is not right, he said to him, ever since Mimi has come back home, not even once you called to say you've got issues. I'm leaving it up to you that you organize your family and then you set up a date so that we can sit down and resolve it as family. And when my dad was saying that, I took a few steps away from him and going to my dad's car. So when I get to my dad's car, trying to open the passenger door, it was locked. Now I'm waiting for my dad to wrap up so that he can come and open for me. So as my dad was going on his side so that he can able to open for me, then that's when I turned back. When I turned back to look at him, then I realized that he's pointing a gun at me. And I just knew then that he's going to be shooting, because it was already on.
Yo.
And we had that eye contact. I remember I was looking right in his eyes. When he fired the first shot and he fired the second shot.
Sure.
So when I fell towards the car. And I remember when I was sliding,
oh God,
you know, it came to me that he's been saying it many times.
Yeah, he meant it.
That he's going to kill the both of us and stay.
Oh God.
And I think I became unconscious for a few minutes because he came to check to make sure that I was definitely
Oh my
gone.
God.
And then that's when he shot himself.
Sure.
Only regained consciousness a few minutes later when I realized that I cannot move my head.
Oh my
and
God.
only to find that he's the one that was there on the ground with his leg on top of my head. So now I was screaming for help, because the last people I saw, it was my friends that I was with in the car and the neighbor. So
and you're dead.
shouting, yes, and then I started shouting, Tobile, Tobile, Zandi, Zandi. And their response, I think they were also shocked, because they thought at that time that we are all gone.
Sure.
And they were like, Umimi, uyapila.
Oh
so
my
they came
God.
and I said, move the legs, move the legs. And to me that time, I'm thinking it's my dad. Maybe my dad was coming to save me. So he also got shot. But then immediately when they lift the legs, and then I realized when I saw the pants and the shoes, that it was my husband and he was dead. So when they were coming to help me, and then vividly I saw my dad, that was a relief for me.
Yes, he's alive.
He's alive. So immediately the ambulance arrived, and then I was taken to the hospital. And when I was taken to the hospital, I went to theater. After theater, I went to coma for 8 days.
Oh my God.
When I went to coma, I came back. I came back on the 21st of January. And I remember when the nurses was asking me when I came back, what day was it? And I said, I can't recall. And when they said to me, Saturday the 28th of January, and I said to them, but I missed my birthday.
Oh.
And then she's asking me, when was your birthday? And I said, my birthday was on the 18th.
Oh
She said to me, no, but they did celebrate your birthday while you were not here.
Oh
and then when
God.
I looked up, I saw the cards, and I was like, oh, actually my birthday was celebrated.
Wow.
And then only to find that on that particular Saturday, it was my husband's funeral.
When you come back.
So to me, that was like God's transaction.
Yeah.
Because it was an exchange of life.
Of life, yes.
That means when I came back,
that was when he was
time
going
was
down.
going down.
Oh my
And I wasn't
God.
even aware then because nobody could tell me. Everybody was still shocked that I came back after the whole
Alive,
incident.
yeah.
So 3 days later, doctor came to me and say, you know, the damage that has been done by the bullet on your spine, you won't be able to walk again. And then they confirmed that it was 3 shots. So that means the other one was also shot after I was unconscious because I could only remember the 2.
The 2.
Yes. And then they told me then that I won't be able to walk again. I would be sent to rehab. When I received the news, I must be honest with you, I think my feelings froze because I couldn't cry. I was like to the doctor, oh, okay, that makes sense to me because ever since I woke up, I've been trying to move my legs.
And you
But
can't.
I can't. And when I look at my feet, they are there, but I can't move them. So I've been wondering what is wrong. Now that you have confirmed it, then I understand. And I think that shook the doctor because they wanted some reaction from me, even the nurses. But then to me, it was like, okay, it's a confirmation that this is what has happened. And that was it. And after a week, that's when the reality hit.
Yeah.
That my life has changed.
Ish.
And I remember that day I cried. I cried the whole day. It was until 3:30 in the afternoon. And after crying, I said to myself, Mimi, you've been crying the whole day. Is it changing the situation?
Ish.
And I realized that it's not. And I think that's when God gave me strength of pulling myself, because I tell you, since from that day, I was like, for me, this is just a bridge to carry over.
Yeah.
So I just crossed over and I went to rehab. I was taught how to adjust now to live as a paraplegic. It's been 14 years now.
My God.
It's been a journey.
It's been a journey.
Not an easy one.
Yeah.
Remember, now I had to adjust.
Yeah, everything around you had to adjust.
I have to adjust.
Yeah.
So it's been a journey, but God has been wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, through it all, I wouldn't have made it this far.
Yeah.
Without
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
So I always thank him for that. And, you know, it saddens me that even after 14 years, even today, we still read about so many killings that are happening.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to even read about those stories because each time I see it on TV or I read about it, it takes me back.
Takes
it
you
makes
back.
me wonder, would it ever end? And I would also blame myself that if I had left early,
Ish.
I wouldn't have found myself in this situation.
Yeah.
Amantombazana amancane, they are dying in the hands of their partners.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's even difficult for me to watch the news anymore because you either read it on social media or you're picking it up on the news. Because somehow it triggers it back. When it had happened a long time ago, and even then there were cases prior. Mine,
Yes.
and it's still happening till to this date. It makes me wonder if would it ever end, and which takes me to the question of speaking to my sisters out there. What is it that we're doing wrong? Is it because are we not supporting each other to be able to talk whenever we're in trouble? Or what are we also doing as well with our partners, the perpetrators? Who's giving them support? Because maybe whatever they are being pushed by, it's rooted somewhere. So, you know, I do my talks these days trying to inspire the sisters out there. Let's build the love among us. Let's speak up. I know we're always good in putting makeups and pretend that all is well.
All is well.
But yet we know inside that we are dying.
Yeah.
So with the talks that I do, I'm glad that I'm also part of this, which will be able to reach out to the other sisters. Can we have people that we trust? And before you keep quiet in your corner, think of the people that love you. And think of your kids, people that will suffer when you are not around.
Yeah.
So let's be able to reach out. We've got organization that helps. We've got the poor organization, and now we also got tears. Those are the organizations that they are waiting for us to reach out to them whenever we're experiencing this kind of abuse.
Yeah.
So it's really important. I think those days are gone of saying, hey, I'm Sindisiwe to share my problems, because he's going to be telling
everyone.
Because we need to develop that sisterhood love. We should be comfortable to say, I can go to my friend and I can tell her what's happening. And I like it now with Umteto, because it's allowing us now, even when you are on the outside, if you see that there's trouble, you can always go and report. On behalf of those people.
Wow. What a story. Mimi's life changed. She was not born in a wheelchair. She was a fine woman with a career. She had dreams for her own life. She had dreams for her society. She had dreams for her family. But life had a surprise for her. And I am very much touched by the two worlds that she finds herself in. You know, the world of saying, before she packed her things and she left, there was a negotiation, a hoping, an engagement that this will not, you know, it will at some point get to an end. And I believe that that's the reality, Mimi, that many women go through, that there is always that hope that says, maybe if I speak to him, maybe if I change. So you are in a state where it is either you are self-blaming or you are thinking the problem is with him. You can see that this problem is bigger, you know. But because we are, as women, there is always that hope that I can control him. On that particular unfaithful day, Mimi still believed that she could, you know, tone him down like she had done before, but she did not know that that was the day that the enemy had set all traps, and the threats that her late husband kept on sharing and expressing were indeed going to come to a point where they materialize. I think I'm saddened as well by the negotiation, because you can never experience issues of gender violence unless the issue of power and insecurity is in the center of the man. And it is said, I wish there could be an organization out there that is just for our brothers, because the level of insecurity that is eating them up, it is so real that it does not matter whether they go to church, it does not matter whether they drink themselves up until they fall asleep. There is a strong level of insecurity that our brothers are going through. And you find the comments that you were experiencing, Mimi, come and fix the geyser because the house is yours. Before he does that, he takes a knife and he says, all the things that you bought with your money. So in this relationship, that there is power issues. Yes. There is insecurities. And to the point where you were then, on that day, you negotiate and you say to him, I'm willing to go without. Mimi, let me tell you a secret. You are not the only one that has said, if it means me with my bag and you have everything just for the sake of peace, we are in that. Yes. I sit here and I would be lying to you if I can say, you know, I never saw it coming. But because people were saying Jesus, Jesus, and I also say Jesus, Jesus, you know, you never think that at the depth of this person's soul, at the heart of this person, the issue of money, of who has what, who has more, it is killing families, it is killing relationships. My question is, Boputi, our brothers, what is going on? What truly happened when you were that young boy growing up? Was your mother not there for you? And when you realize that possibly mother was not there, and you are having bitterness, you are having anger, you are having all these feelings that make you so unsure, why don't you speak? Why don't you speak to another man? Because it is only when you begin to speak and you address your experiences and you address your fears, you address your pains, that you are likely to get help. So that when a Mimi walks into your life, a Sindisiwe walks into your life, you don't have power issues. You don't have, you know even the beauty. You know, these men, they come to us because we're beautiful. But it's almost like the moment that beauty is caged in that house, that this person begins to say, I'm going to do everything possible in my power to make sure that you feel that I am in control, I'm in charge. And you're thinking, but I never questioned that. This was never about that. It was about the two of us thinking we love each other and we're going to make this thing work. 14 years down the line. I think what I'm going to be asking Mimi to cover now is the whole idea of her talks. And I'm going to plead with you. I'm going to plead with you that this, where she is on a wheelchair, she was not born on a wheelchair. So the truth of the matter is that life has no guarantees. I do not have guarantees as I sit here. I don't have guarantees of what I'm going through. Had I known what awaited me in life, I possibly could have avoided certain decisions. But like Mimi and like life does it to everybody else, there are no guarantees. And out of her experience, out of God giving her that realization that this is a second chance, Mimi did not just stop there. She actually set up her own organization, which I would love for her to tell us about, so that you, viewer watching at home, you can almost like sow a seed in prayer to say, let this not happen to my children. Let this not happen to our sisters. We don't have to know each other, but we can, by virtue of us supporting what Mimi's organization is doing, by virtue of that, we would be in one voice saying, our brothers, our sisters, something fundamentally wrong is ravaging our society. Can we not be together and speak in one voice? Mimi, tell us more about your organizations and the things that you do as part of your reaching out.
Okay, we've got a co-founder of an organization called Bring Change in Me.
Okay.
It's an organization that advocates for women and young girls with disability.
Okay.
I think through my talks, I would go and share my life experience with the hope of assisting someone to change a life and not to do the same mistakes I did.
Yeah.
But then I realized that the group that is missing was a woman or a girl with a disability among the group. And then I was with my friend Miranda. She's also on a wheelchair.
Sure.
And then we realized that there's so much abuse that is happening. And when we think of those women and young girls with disability, we felt it is the most vulnerable group. And yet no one is paying attention. We do have organization, but the question is, do they ever think of that group? Because that's the most group that gets abused by their corporate counterparts. Others are being abused by their caregivers, family members. And remember, when you are fully depending on this person that's looking up to you, and yet you're still depending on this particular person to take you to the police station, how are you going to
How is it going to happen?
So that's when we felt that we need to be the voice for those that are voiceless. Then we decided to start up the organization that's called Bring Change in Me. So we do sessions where we do workshops about gender-based violence.
Okay.
We do capacity building.
Okay.
We're raising awareness.
Okay.
We're trying to build up self-confidence in them so that they can be able to speak up and not be quiet with whatever kind of abuse that's going on.
Yeah.
So that's basically that. And I do my talks. It's just that it's unfortunate now with the COVID, but mostly I get to speak in different platforms, especially during Women's Month.
Okay.
Just to encourage our sisters that, we come from different backgrounds. I know some of our black families, we are so many that others are sleeping under the tables.
Yeah.
But I always say that it's best to go back home and sleep under the table.
If it's not with peace,
Peace.
yeah.
So, and if we can try as well and empower each other as women, because I came to realize that in most cases, most of the women are more dependent in their partners, and yet they suffer abuse, but then they are scared to come up because one thing is
where next? Yeah, where to?
But then with some form of empowerment, if we can get government's intervention to empower women so that they can stand up on their own, then they will be able to fight it and say, with or without this marriage,
I will survive.
I will survive.
Yeah.
I can be on my own.
Yeah.
And I'm glad now that we've got the gender joint, I think the women's, the men's group is talking about all the abuse now. I wish somehow we can engage with them and try and bridge the gap to understand maybe we are failing men somewhere, and they also need to find out from us how are we failing them. Then
and we also need to find out how they are failing us.
Exactly. So maybe if we bridge a gap somewhere, these insecurities, this possessiveness can end so that we can all live in harmony and enjoy our relationship, because the relationships are a beautiful thing.
Yes.
We need them at the end of the day. They need us at the end of the day. So when you see these killings, it just destroys people who are still hoping to get into marriage because they're thinking, oh no, then that's not for me. So I think we really need to engage in such and also building our young girls, because I realize back in the days, being married was like a big thing. It's like you have achieved.
You have arrived.
So I think with parents of today, if we can get to a point where we teach our daughters that it's not all about marriage, because now they find themselves
vulnerable,
those in the relationship because they are looking for that. And yet the end results are not good.
Wow. I think what I just liked about what you've just said, Mimi, is the fact that you've gone beyond the pity party at the gender-based violence, but you've taken it a step further and you've said, while I may have been a survivor of this, now that I'm in this wheelchair, many are the girls out there, many are women out there that are not in a state where they can self-sustain. Others don't even have those wheelchairs. Others, they are pulled by abomatras and babegolangen, to say, sort yourself. So the level of abuse that I think we are beginning to touch at is one that is no longer even between spouses. Right at home, that disabled child, who is taking care of that disabled child? And I think, again, with all fairness to the people that have the people that are disabled, the question again for them, Mimi, is who has trained them to be able to take care of the person that is disabled? Because when we have a person like that at home, someone's life must come to a standstill so that this person is taken care of. So your organization is going beyond to say, I'm just a survivor, but to say, I am a survivor that is now, living with a disability and knowing the challenges of a disability. What is it that we can do? Blessed woman, blessed man, here is a story. Here is a story. Post 14 years, Mimi finds herself in a wheelchair, and she does not become a victim. She says, out of this experience, I'm going to arise. It is about arising. It is about arising. And I liked your point when you said it's time we begin to educate our girls. Because what is happening out there, many are the teachers, many are the voices, many are the gadgets, many are the demands of society, where when I was 15, I was like a child. But banamhlanje, it's almost like, I'm ready, I can do this. And the moment they say they're ready, they can do this, believe you me, they are going to do it via men. And when those men know that you are, one, a child, two, that weave you're wearing is dependent on me, already you are caged. Because then this guy will say, I will deny you the frills, the financial frills. And the sad thing is, these financial frills are not coming from boys, because boys don't have money. Which means chances are, those financial frills are coming from the very married people. If they are not married, they are highly educated, respected men, but they have caged young women, because those women again are thinking, without the man I cannot survive, you know. So it is a bigger, it is just a massive thing, Mimi, that you are trying to address. My prayer for you is, may God give you the hands that will enable you to run with this, because I am hearing different categories, and the truth of the matter is, who is speaking about those categories? Disabled, see to finish, you know, under whose hands you said something very powerful. If we are dependent on somebody and you want to report the very person, how are you going to do that, you know? So just before we wrap up here, there's one thing though that is kind of shocking me, and that is how I seem to be coming across a lot of resilience from people that have gone through crap in life. And others would be watching and they would be saying, why is Cindy not crying? Why is Mimi not crying? The time to cry has been there. She says she cried for more than a week until she asked herself, if I continue crying, will the situation change? So we are sitting here not because we are excited that we have gone through stuff, not because Mimi is celebrating the fact that she's on a wheelchair, but she's celebrating life, she's celebrating the second chance, and she's decided that with that second chance, she's going to go out there and begin to mobilize. May you please mobilize with your purse. May you please mobilize with your skill. Some of you are psychologists. Some of you are social workers. Some of you have just got social clout. You know, you've got power in society. Your bank account is also very liquid. Can you not be part of what Mimi is doing? And I do want to encourage you to be part of it. All banking details and everything else, if you want to be part of Mimi's organization to add value. Our high schools have got girls. Not only girls, but they also have boys. Who is taking care of the boys? You know, to do all of that, to drop everything you're doing in life and begin to do and run with projects like this requires a lot of financial support. Mimi's details are on the screen, and I am trusting that while I do not pray and I do not wish that you go through what she went through, the truth is both of us do not have guarantees. So we might as well sow the seed while we can. Almost like Mimi celebrating the fact that at least I'm not on a wheelchair. You know, when you just give on the grounds that everything in me I can still run, you know. And I think that is what we are really saying, that we are not celebrating the state of affairs, but we're celebrating the fact that we still can. And let's help Mimi reach out as much as she can while you still can. Over to you, Mimi, as you share your last word of encouragement to people that are just lost.
Thank you. I think just to go back on what you said, when you say those parents parents with a child with a disability, no one has educated them. Those partners with a wife or a girlfriend with a disability, nobody has taught you
How to look after.
Yes. With our organization, we're also trying to reach on parents and
Okay.
partners to
Okay.
also have workshop. I appreciate for opening this platform so that if anyone out there can sow a seed on us, because really we want to reach out, but the funds are restricting us. So thank you so much for just putting out there. And just lastly to say, you know, in life, you'll never know what tomorrow has for you.
Yeah.
No one fills in an application for
Yeah.
disability. On that Friday when I woke up,
Oh my God.
I never saw myself in this life. I never even had a friend who had a disability. But look at me today. I had to adjust.
Ish.
I had to move from an able life to a disabled life.
Yeah.
So I'd like to say to my sister who's there, who doesn't know what to do, that there's hope after all.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier on, rather go back and sleep under that table, but with a peace in your heart and with happiness. So I would say among us sisters, can we have the sisterhood love? Can we have the sisterhood love so that we can trust each other, so that when I go through stuff, I know that you're there, that I can reach out. And to our brothers, to our partners, can you please love us? Stop abusing us. We need you guys. You also need us. Can we sit down, talk about issues, reach out to other men if you're suffering from problems? I know others, they come from different backgrounds.
Yes.
But you can break that. You can be a change man.
Yes.
You can make a better tomorrow.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mom Sindisiwe, for
Thank
inviting
you.
me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. What a beautiful time. What a beautiful time with Mimi. Wow. I would not expect so much love to come from this beautiful woman. But as she was just saying, guys, we need you. Just love us. I just felt a lot of love. So not all is gloom and doom. You can still make a change. And I sit here very committed, Mimi, that if you've got offices, one day I'll step my feet to those offices and just see what you do and what I can do to be part of your life. Because life is about that. And I think I just like something you said. It's amazing, Mimi, how friends are few when you are going through stuff. Sisters out there don't disappear. When another sister is quiet and yet you have been friends for long, ask yourself when they are no longer there as to why the quietness. Because power, it is when you can extend a hand when your friend needs you the most. But can we just be there for one another so that we can make this South Africa a better place to be a part of? I hope to see you next time. Stay blessed.